Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to do something a little bit different today. Instead of talking about the news or going over, the charts, I wanted to just show you guys my very small coin collection that I've developed over the last couple of months. I got into this sort of, when I started my financial awakening process last year. Coin collecting and collecting currency and saving money just kind of went along with all of that. So I'm just going to give you a brief overview of everything that I have here on display out in front of you guys, and just show you what is possible, just kind of looking for these things part-time. The other thing I'll say about this is I truly believe that the premiums on some of this stuff is going to go up. You can even think of like silver certificates. They're like $2, $3 if you're going to buy one, purchase one online or at a bullion store. These discontinued silver certificates already are worth double, triple their face value. So similar to that kind of idea, I think a lot of this stuff, the premiums will go up. Not on all of it. Some of it may even be worthless, but it's a way to sort of diversify my physical assets stack that I keep. Just like I'm stacking silver and gold, I want to diversify and have a little bit of currency. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. Some of the stuff that I have been collecting are star notes, the paper currency. I also have silver certificates, but those I have not found in circulation. I actually bought those. But star notes, what star notes are is basically this original bill, the MF 085555171 bill, and the whole sheet that it was with, for whatever reason, got damaged at the printing press. So they had to remake that whole entire sheet, and then they put a star on it. So that's essentially what a star note is. I have a couple of fives, and these I just got back in change. And we also have some $1 star notes. All right, this one I think is... no, this is the first one I ever found. It's in very poor condition, as you can see. But $1 star notes, ideally, you would want them to kind of be paired with a fancy serial number. I don't have all that, but nevertheless, star notes are very cool. And I also have this older bill here from 1988. The reason I took this out, it's not a star note, doesn't have any fancy serial number or anything, but 1988, I hardly ever see bills that are that old, and it's also my birth year. So I decided to pull this out of circulation, put it in a nice little fancy case, and it's besides just collecting it, it's a great way to save money. It's only $15, right? But it's $15 I will never spend. And if I'm right, I think the premiums on this stuff will go up, right? And maybe it takes 100 years, right? Maybe it's after my lifetime. But eventually, I think this stuff is going to be worth, especially if it's in better condition, it's going to be worth more than face value. Could be wrong about that, but, people think I'm crazy for saying this, but especially when we go to a cashless society or an exclusively cashless system, I think people are going to want the real thing, and, collectors do value this stuff, so premiums will go up. Another thing that I really like to collect are quarters, right? I've never found any silver quarters, but I have found a couple of West Point quarters. Now I found these a couple of months ago, and since I have not found any other West Point quarters. One's from 2020. I think the other one is from they're both from 2020, but some of them are going to be from 2019. But West Point, they only minted, as opposed to minting like 100 million quarters, they only minted like 2 million of these, right? So they are pretty rare. The coin shop dealer, one of the guys that I see to buy silver, he said he would give me $10 a piece for these. So with that information, after I found these, I was like, I'm going to hold on to them. But these are in circulation. You can find them. They're business strike, right? They're not proofs or anything like that. Like this is a proof nickel. And you can tell, there's a huge difference in the quality there, right? This is almost like a mirror. And you can also tell they were proofs because of the San Francisco Mint, right? I found that. That's pretty cool, right? But these West Point quarters, they're not proofs or anything. They were meant for circulation. They're business strike. They're just very, very rare. There's only a few million of these out there. So definitely stack those when you come across them. So those are the quarters I have. Before I get into the nickels and some of the cool pennies, real quick, I'll just show you my foreign coin collection. I like collecting anything foreign, so obviously these Canadian nickels, you can usually find these once in a while. Maybe you'll get them back as change. Maybe you'll find them in a roll of nickels. I have a couple that are older than that. I also have this Canadian penny. I have a few of those. I have about, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, 3. I got 4 of those. I just like having a small stash of foreign currency. This is a British penny from over 100 years ago, right? 1912, right? And the coin shop dealer, one of the guys that I go see, I just picked this up. Oops. Picked it up off the desk. I was like, ooh, what is this? He was like, you can have it if you want. So I was like, sure, I'll take it. It's old and it's foreign. I'll add it to my stash. Couple of very cool coins that I did find recently is a Panama Dime, right? I mean, that is just so cool with the conquistador on it. And then you've got the sort of coat of arms. It's from 1970, so it's a little bit old too. But that's a dime from Panama. Definitely had to take that out of circulation. And then we have this Bolivar from Venezuela. This is from 1986, so it's a $1 Bolivar. I don't even think this is really worth much in Venezuela after their currency collapse, and it's been discontinued. But the nickel, alloy is worth about 30, 40 cents in American money. I also have a euro cent. Funny little story about this. My brother found this 10-cent euro coin. He just found it lying on the ground. Now, I think there's so much foreign money within my vicinity because I live in a military town, and these military guys and gals, or somewhere in between, they, bring all of this foreign currency back from, their deployments. They bring it back. It ends up in circulation. So that's why I think I'm finding so much of that foreign currency. Now, let's talk about nickels, all right? Like I said, I found this proof nickel. I love nickels because there's a lot of variety of really cool stuff to find. You can find proof nickels. You could find war nickels. You could find buffalo nickels, all right? This is why nickels or getting rolls of nickels has been, I think, probably the best for me as far as finding stuff because there's so much different variety. But I did find this proof nickel. It's, was minted in San Francisco. This is not a business strike. This originally was in some kind of set and somehow ended up in circulation. I think with the pandemic and everything, a lot of people are just taking whatever change, whatever money or currency they have and just saying, screw it. I need supper or I need to buy some, got to feed these kids, you know what I'm saying? And they just take this stuff in and it ends up in circulation. This is a World War II war nickel. It's 35% silver, which, gives it intrinsic value. There are 1940, the war nickels are from 1942 to 1945, but be careful. You will find them without the big mint mark on the back. And that wouldn't be silver. You need to have the mint mark. Now, I do keep all the nickels from 1964 and previous. I keep all of it. Like I have, entire stacks of it in here. But this was super cool. This is the first, war nickel, silver nickel I've ever found. So I had to put that in a nice little fancy case. I have found a silver dime, but, I haven't had much luck with dimes. This is the only silver dime I've ever found. But it does go to show you that the silver is definitely still out there. All right, let's move on to buffalo nickels. I have a stack of about 10 of them here. I love buffalo nickels. They're just iconic. You can still find them. Some of these, in some instances, I found like 3 or 4 of them all at once, in a couple of rolls. So, yeah, you definitely want to try to look through nickels and get a hold of some of these because at a coin shop, you're going to be paying maybe $1 sometimes, 75 cents to $1 for these, especially if they have, nice dates on them, readable dates. These are from 1936. I love buffalo nickels. They're iconic. I know with the silver bullion, they actually still use this design. So it's recognizable. Everyone knows this is American money. And I think premiums on that will definitely go up. We also have a Liberty nickel. This I actually had to buy, so I didn't find this. This cost me about, I think, 65 cents or so. But it's from 1899. It's super old. It's a Liberty nickel, and I'm going to preserve it, into my retirement. Maybe the premium on this will go up. You never know. This could be worth $5, $10 someday. Who knows? I have a couple of these dollar coins that I found, the Sacagawea and the Polk presidential piece. Definitely want to get some more of those for my stack. And the last thing I'll talk about is pennies, okay? Especially 2009 pennies or copper pennies. Copper pennies are from 1982. I've got a stack of wheat pennies right here. But the reason these 2009 pennies are definitely, I think, going to be valuable is because it's one of the lowest mintage years, okay? Instead of minting like 1 billion pennies, they only minted a few 100 million. And the 2009, right? Those are the lowest mint. That's the lowest mint year. Like I have a 2009 nickel right here. It's the lowest mint year pretty much ever, like in decades and decades, because it was the financial crisis and the mint, for whatever reason, didn't make as many coins. So this Lincoln penny, it also has the cool, like, newer design. It was like a commemorative piece. They just did it for that year with this sort of reverse here. But this was in super good condition, so I had to put it in a little capsule. And I'm going to preserve this, and, you know, right now I see these going for a couple of bucks sometimes on eBay, sometimes more than that. You know, so already you're talking about a 100, 200%, you know, return if you were to find one of these and sell them now. Imagine what's going to happen in another 10 years or so. So that's my coin collection. I don't want this video to go on too much longer, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You know, do you collect coins? What are you finding in your local area? What are the best rolls? What banks do you go to get your rolls? Let me know where you are finding your stuff in the comment section down below. Always enjoy hearing back from you guys. And follow me on social media. The links are in the description below. As always, until next time, God bless.